Alrighty, well, good morning, folks. We're out here for day 2, pushing the pad off. We're gonna see if we can get this roughed out and finalized. We got a little bit more over here to push, probably another 20-30 feet to rough in, and we're gonna get after it this morning. I'll check back in with you in a little bit. So in this clip, this is what they refer to as slot dozing. So you'll see I'm pushing in the same straight line over and over again, and the banks will build up on the side. And this kind of represents what I was talking to in the last video I had about how I was struggling to keep dirt in front of the blade. But when you do it this way, as you keep pushing, the berms on the side of each side of the blade get higher and higher. And what it allows you to do is keep more dirt in front of the blade. So every push, you're moving more. So as you follow along, I'm pushing down the center. And then as I get the beginning of where I'm pushing from done, I'm coming back and pushing the sides into the middle and then pushing it down the rest of the trough there and just working my way down the trough. So start at the beginning, push everything down the middle, and then work the sides in as you go. And when you get to the end, you're not chasing a bunch of crumbs that you can't manage to keep in front of the blade. So much more efficient, and you can get a lot more dirt moved in the same amount of time. Been a while since I checked in, but we have most of the dirt pushed out over here, as you saw in the time lapse. We've been cleaning up pipe the whole time. I just checked grade, and we're 2-3 inches high over on this end, and we have some need for some more dirt over here, so we're going to continue to scrape this off and get it down to grade, and then we'll come back and double check and make sure we're good. All right, we're gonna check grade, see where we're at here. Dang, still high. Good here, getting a little low here, and then the rest has got to get pushed out. We're still 2 inches high where the dozer's at. Basically this beeps and makes different noises depending on where you're at. So I have grade here, so yeah. 7 inches high. I'll try not to hit my head this time. folks, we're about 4 hours into it now. It's been a little bit since I had the camera turned on. I made a mistake that has cost me probably half my time out here today between when I was digging. You'll see in the time lapse, I was digging dirt off this pile, cutting it down. Ultimately, I didn't need any of that dirt. I misread grade over here with my eyeball. So basically, I ended up thinking that I had to put a foot of dirt over here, even though I have a 1.5 feet in the other corner. And ultimately, all I had to do was push the topsoil out and replace it. It's almost completely level from pad grade to existing grade now on top of the topsoil. So I ended up with a bunch of dirt. So I've basically been chasing dirt around for the last hour, pushing everything out that I had cut off this pile to get it off the pad, because on the other side of this, basically I could see grade needed to get, the difference between here and here was well over 2 feet. The problem is this had to go down over 2 feet and that had to stay flat. So I cut a foot and added a foot, and ultimately I had to come back and take an entire foot off. So I've wasted quite a bit of time. I got pretty frustrated, so I haven't videoed in a minute. But this is the end of the day. I'm a little high on the north side here. The middle's probably 2 inches, and then the south is within 1/2 inch. Like, once I realized what I had done, I've got that pretty close now. I don't know if it'll be in the video, but you'll see I was checking grade and I was 8 to 10 inches off. And yeah, I was 8 to 10 inches off. So we've got that corrected now. A little frustrating, but ultimately it's just dirt. So it's only time. So I've got it moved around where it needs to be now. And I think that's where I'm going to call it. I struggle with this dozer with how wore out the C-frame is, and you end up getting whoops in it, and you're constantly doing this because you'll have on grade and then the blade will essentially unload, and what it does is it allows it to dip, because if you're cutting somewhere, you're pushing down to cut, and then ultimately you'll find some loose dirt and it'll let the blade drop out. So once the blade drops out, it digs in, and then you lift it back up to where it is, and then you'll get to a hard spot and it'll push the blade up. So you keep doing this with the blade, and it's frustrating and difficult. So I've got it close enough now. I had an issue with the little dozer, needs some batteries, and I was busy this week, didn't have a chance to get them put in. So we're gonna get that done. I've got a pole on the front that's got a laser receiver set up for the laser, and it gives me lights so I can see exactly where I'm at, and that'll let me get this real close to grade. And once we have that done, we're gonna leave it sit. Hopefully get some more rain. It started to dry out. We haven't got any rain this week. So hopefully we'll get some of that. It'll settle this back in where we've had to add so much. There is a bunch of dirt still to move outside of the area to set up elevations for everything that needs to move for drainage between it and the house. I'm also gonna have to bring in some more clay for the driveway, and I think I'm gonna have to extend this driveway out some and give myself some basically serviceability so I can get to where this building's gonna be with equipment that's not meant to be off-road. Basically, we're gonna have to put a concrete pump and stuff in here to get the pad put in, so we're gonna have to put access in for something, which means this area in between the house and the shop that I'm looking at keeping it around 60 feet. That's basically gonna need to get put to grade and put some clay in, which is what I'm using basically for driveway base. It's not gonna be what the final is, but I need to get something just to firm the ground up. So I'm using clay because it's cheap, and we'll top dress it with something, whether it's crushed concrete for now. Ultimately, I really want to pour concrete. but I want the house done more than I need the driveway to be money spent. So we're gonna keep plugging away here. Because who doesn't like destroying some stuff? We're gonna push some more trees out. It has been a struggle this afternoon. I finally got my corners kind of laid out just with the tape measure and got it squared up, roughing it. And this pile is right in the way. So I'm gonna have to get that loaded out of here at some point here in the near future. Ended up not far enough over, so this isn't deep enough to grade in the corner of the building where the shovel is. So I've got to cut some more out, and I'm gonna push these trees out of the way and make some room. This is where we finished day 2. The whole pad's pushed out. A little high. I don't know if you can see it. There's a shovel stuck in the ground right there. That's my 4th corner. It's still got to get cut down over there, but the building is actually inside these posts. I left extra room. There's 10 foot on the 100-foot side, and there's 20 foot on the other side because I haven't exactly figured out how far I want the building from the shop, or how far I want the shop from the house. So I left extra room, so we have 20 feet we can slide this building east to west and make it work. So all laid out, I got my pins in. We're ready for a surveyor to come and mark these, get it squared up to the property line. So the next step is this giant pile's got to get moved out of the way. So there'll probably be a video of me hauling that out. It's either going to go to the other side of the property, or I have another option possible. So I'm just waiting on confirmation of that happening or not. That'll involve a little distance hauling. but we'll get it out of here, and then we'll come and cut final grade with the Komatsu once we get ready to start putting some footers in.